Hello and welcome back. Welcome back. I'm John, an old YouTuber and PC gamer. Let's continue my project to read all this PDF. Now it's 3:30, and it was mentioned Motorola 68,000 chips. When I was reading about this Zilog chips, so I did like to read about this old Motorola chips should be very powerful. But then I have another PDF about the Motorola company. So I think why not just read it, because that's really because I got 500 PDF. That's really a bit hard to find out how in which numbers I should read it. So I spent 5 hours to make this read list. But of course I can expand my read list like I find German from just reading about Eastern Germany, computers from Eastern Germany. Then I defined another PDF, Elektroapparatewerke. Then we do the Motorola, then we go back to my own list. Then I go to there, but then I need to read about the semiconductor industries. But of course I could put something in here. I like to read about the Qualcomm Snapdragon chips, but maybe don't need it now to do it right now. So, but maybe I like to do it when we get there one day. On my list, yes. So now I read about, I don't know much about Motorola, the Motorola company. Okay, that's America. I thought that was a Japanese company, but it's not. It's American multinational in Schaumburg, Illinois, United States. I thought it was a Japanese company, but it's not. I think that make cell phones in old days. They make portable cell phones, the old style, like look like a big walkie-talkie. Yes, but let's read about that. But now this reading should work. It can read the full documents. So I don't have, but this is 15 pages, but many of the last pages, that's references. So that's maybe 10 pages of text, but that would take a long time. But that's fine, I have the whole summer.
Motorola. Motorola, Incorporated Motorola logo. Type Public Industry Telecommunications founded September 25. 1928 Founder Paul Galvin defunct January 4, 2011 Fate split into Motorola Mobility and Motorola Solutions successor Motorola Mobility Motorola Solutions Freescale Semiconductor ON Semiconductor Aris Group, General Instrument, Cambium Networks Headquarters 500 W Monroe D 4400, 1. Chicago, Illinois, United States area served worldwide products tablet computers mobile phone smartphone away radios networking systems cable television systems wireless broadband networks RFID systems mobile telephony infrastructure total assets decrease US dollar 11.851 billion 2013 2 decrease US dollar 12.679 billion, 2012, 2. Number of employees 53,000, 2010, 3. Divisions mobile phone devices connected home solutions network home solutions. Motorola, Incorporated, /Motorola /4, was an American multinational telecommunications company based in Schaumburg, Illinois, United States. After having lost $4.3 billion from 2007 to 2009, The company split into two independent public companies, Motorola Mobility and Motorola Solutions on January 4, 2011. 5. Motorola Solutions is generally considered to be the direct successor to Motorola, Inc., as the reorganization was structured with Motorola Mobility being spun off. 6. Motorola Mobility was acquired by Lenovo in 2014. Motorola designed and sold wireless network equipment such as cellular transmission base stations and signal amplifiers. Motorola's home and broadcast network products included set-top boxes, digital video recorders and network equipment used to enable video broadcasting, computer telephony, and high-definition television. Its business and government customers consisted mainly of wireless voice and broadband systems, used to build private networks, and public safety communications systems like Astro and Dimetra. These businesses, except for set-top boxes and cable modems, are now part of Motorola Solutions. Google sold Motorola Home, the former General Instrument cable businesses, to the Aris Group in December 2012 for $2.35 billion. 7. Motorola's wireless telephone handset division was a pioneer in cellular telephones. Also known as the personal communications sector, PCs. Prior to 2004, it pioneered the mobile phone with Dyna TAC, flip phone with the Micro TAC as well as the clam phone with the Star TAC in the mid-1990s. It had staged a resurgence by the mid-2000s with the RAS, but lost market share in the second half of that decade. Later it focused on smartphones using Google's open-source Android mobile operating system. The first phone to use its newest version of Google's open-source OS, Android 2.0, was released on the 2nd of November, 2009 as the Motorola Droid. The GSM version launched a month later, in Europe, as the Motorola Milestone. The handset division, along with cable set-top boxes and cable modems, was later spun off into the independent Motorola Mobility. On the 22nd of May, 2012, Google CEO Larry Page announced that Google had closed on its deal to acquire Motorola Mobility. 8. On the 29th of January, 2014, Google CEO Larry Page announced that pending closure of the deal, Motorola Mobility would be acquired by Chinese technology company Lenovo for $2.91 billion, subject to certain adjustments. 9. On the 30th of October, 2014, Lenovo finalized its purchase of Motorola Mobility from Google. 10. Contents. History post-World War II. After 2000 Motorola, post-split. Finances. Spin-offs television and radio manufacturing. Iridium. Government and defense. Semiconductor. Automotive. Biometrics. Split Motorola Mobility deal by Google. Motorola Mobility, Google, deal by Lenovo. Cambium Networks. Quality Systems. Environmental Record. Sponsorships. See also. References. Further reading. External links. History. Motorola started in Chicago, Illinois, as Galvin Manufacturing Corporation, at 847 West Harrison Street, 11, in 1928 when brothers, Paul V and Joseph E. Galvin, purchased the bankrupt Stewart Battery Company's battery eliminator plans and manufacturing equipment at auction for $750. Galvin Manufacturing Corporation set up shop in a small section of a rented building. The company had $565 in working capital and 5 employees. The first week's payroll was $63. The company's first products were battery eliminators, devices that enabled battery-powered radios to operate on household electricity. Due to advances in radio technology, battery eliminators soon became obsolete. Paul Galvin learned that some radio technicians were installing sets in cars, and challenged Hayes engineers to design an inexpensive car radio that could be installed in most vehicles. His team was successful, and Galvin was able to demonstrate a working model of the radio at the June 1930 Radio Local Branch in Glostrup, Denmark Manufacturers Association Convention in Atlantic City, New Jersey. He brought home enough orders to keep the company in business. Paul Galvin wanted a brand name for Galvin Manufacturing Corporation's new car radio, and created the name Motorola by linking motor, for motor car, with Ola, from Victrola, which was also a popular ending for many companies at the time, E.G. Movula, Crayola. 12. The company sold its first Motorola branded radio on the 23rd of June, 1930, to H.C. Wall of Fort Wayne, Indiana, for $30. The Motorola brand name became so well known that Galvin Manufacturing Corporation later changed its name to Motorola Inc. 13. 14. Galvin Manufacturing Corporation began selling Motorola car radio receivers to police departments and municipalities in November 1930. The company's first public safety customers, all in the U.S. state of Illinois, included the Village of River Forest, Village of Bellwood Police Department, City of Evanston Police, Illinois State Highway Police, and Cook County, Chicago area Police. 15. Many of Motorola's products have been radio-related, starting with a battery eliminator for radios, the first handheld walkie-talkie in the world in 1940. 16. Defense electronics, cellular infrastructure equipment, and mobile phone manufacturing. In the same year, the company built its research and development program with Dan Noble, a pioneer in FM radio and semiconductor technologies, who joined the company as director of research. The company produced the handheld MSCR 536 radio during World War II, which was vital to Allied communication. Motorola ranked 94th among United States corporations in the value of World War II military production contracts. 17. Motorola went public in 1943, 18, and became Motorola, Inc. in 1947. At that time Motorola's main business was producing and selling televisions and radios. Post-World War II. In October 1946, Motorola Communications Equipment carried the first calls on Illinois Bell Telephone Company's new car radio telephone service in Chicago, Illinois. The company began making televisions in 1947, with the model VT71 with 7-inch cathode ray tube. In 1952 Motorola opened its first international subsidiary in Toronto, Canada to produce radios and televisions. In 1953, the company established the Motorola Foundation to support leading universities in the United States. In 1955, years after Motorola started its research and development laboratory in Phoenix, Arizona, to research new solid-state technology, Motorola introduced the world's first commercial high-power germanium-based transistor. The present Batwing logo was also introduced in 1955, which was created by award-winning Chicago graphic designer Morton Goldschall in late 1954. Beginning in 1958, with Explorer 1 Motorola provided radio equipment for most NASA space flights for decades, including during the 1969 moon landing. A year later it established a subsidiary to conduct licensing and manufacturing for international markets. Motorola created numerous products for use by the government, public safety officials, business installments, and the general public. These products included cell phones, laptops, computer processors, and radio communication devices. Motorola vacuum tube carton in 1960, it introduced the world's first large-screen portable, 19-inch, transistorized, cordless television. According to the 1962 Illinois Manufacturers Directory, 50th Anniversary Edition, Motorola had 14,000 employees worldwide, of which at least 5,823 employees in 6 plants were located in Illinois. The company headquarters were at 9401 West Grand Avenue in Franklin Park, and it listed TV receivers, stereo hi-fi equipment as the products at this plant made by 1,700 employees. The communications division was in Chicago at 4545 West Augusta Boulevard, where 2,000 employees made electronic communications equipment. The Military Electronics Division was at 1450 North Cicero Avenue, Chicago, where 923 employees made microwave and industrial equipment. 2 more Chicago locations were listed at 4900 West Flowery Street and at 650 North Pulaski, but no employee count was listed for these. The last plant was listed in Quincy, Illinois at 1400 North 30th Street, where 1,200 employees made radio assemblies for both home and automobile. 19. In 1963, it introduced the first rectangular color picture tube. In 1964, the company opened its first research and development branch outside of the United States, in Israel, under the management of Moses Basin. The modular quasar brand was introduced in 1967. In 1969, Neil Armstrong spoke the famous words, "One small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind," from the moon on a Motorola transceiver. 20. In 1973, Motorola demonstrated the first handheld portable telephone. 21. In 1974, Motorola introduced its first microprocessor, the 8-bit MC6800, used in automotive, computing and video game applications. 22. That same year, Motorola sold its television business to the Japan-based Matsushita, the parent company of Panasonic. In 1976, Motorola moved its headquarters to the Chicago suburb of Schaumburg, Illinois. In 1980, Motorola's next-generation 32-bit microprocessor, the MC68000, led the wave of technologies that spurred the computing revolution in 1984, powering devices from companies such as Apple, Commodore, Atari, Sun, and Hewlett-Packard. 23. In September 1983, the U.S. Federal Communications Commission, FCC, approved the Dynati AC8000 telephone, the world's first commercial cellular device. By 1998, cell phones accounted for 2/3 of Motorola's gross revenue. 24. The company was also strong in semiconductor technology, including integrated circuits used in computers. In particular, it is known for the 6800 family and 68000 family of microprocessors and related peripheral ICs. The processors were used in Atari ST, Commodore Amiga color computer, and Apple Macintosh personal computers, and in the early HP laser printers, and some 6800 family peripheral devices were used in the IBM PC series of personal computers. 25. The Power family was developed with IBM and in a partnership with Apple, known as the AIM Alliance. Motorola also has a diverse line of communication products, including satellite systems, digital cable boxes and modems. In 1986, Motorola invented the Six Sigma quality improvement process. This became a global standard. In 1990, General Instrument Corporation, which was later acquired by Motorola, proposed the first all-digital standard. In the same year the company introduced the Bravo numeric pager, which became the Dr. Martin Cooper of Motorola made the first private handheld mobile phone call on a larger prototype model in 19